I'm someone that likes to explain the unexplainable in a logical way. Why? Just because it's fun. So I wondered, how is it possible that we are connected to everything? Like there's no duality. And I wanted to have this experience. And I was looking for an explanation for my mind, right? My mind wanted to have an explanation. And I didn't find any explanation. And I know that an explanation wouldn't really help to have the experience, but sometimes the mind can operate in funny ways. Like the mind says, but I want to know it. But then everybody says, no, it wouldn't help, so I won't explain it. But sometimes it's really helpful to have an explanation, to then realize that it truly didn't work. Like, so I can explain how you are connected to everything in a logical way, so you can realize that logically, rationally, knowing how you are connected to everything won't make you actually feel connected, so your mind can finally give up. And through giving up, you can maybe have the experience of full surrender. But yeah. But anyway, I just want to talk about it because I just like to talk about it. So, when we are born as children, we are aware of a field of fear because we are not really connected to our minds. We don't even have a mind when we are born. And we are connected to our body, but mostly we are just in the pure self. But then we become aware of this field of fear. And that's because all these adults are constantly doing things out of fear. Like when you become an adult, you're not aware of this. But as a child, you kind of sense that everything adults do is because of fear. Like they even meditate because they don't want to have this fear. Like, right? If you meditate because you want to be in a vibration of love, that's because you are afraid of fear. That's why it doesn't work. Well, it does work if you're not afraid of fear anymore. But then when you're a child, you want to find out, like, what's the matter? Like, why are all these people in a state of fear? And you want to understand it. Now, in order to understand it, you have to develop a mind yourself. Then when you have a mind, you do understand it, but you cannot overcome it through understanding it. Now you're a part of the fear. You're a part of the fear field. And of course, then you want to attain things or consume things to get rid of this feeling. You don't want to feel the body. You want to hide in your mind, but your mind is the source of your suffering. But the root of your suffering is in your heart, actually. It's in, like, when the heart doesn't feel the connection to everything, to the awareness, there's like the root of fear is in the heart, but the fruits of fear are in the mind, and you are hiding in the mind, and you are identifying with the mind. And the way out is basically to go to the root, to actually feel or reconnect to your body again. Sometimes you have to reconnect to your body before you can have this realization that there is something that is even beyond the body. So when you reconnect with your body and feel what is going on in there, you might become aware of your heart beating, and maybe your nervous system is kind of damaged, and you feel this anxiety. But the mind is actually afraid of this body awareness, because if you're aware of your body, you notice that there is like a stillness. Like even though the heart is beating, there's a stillness behind of it, and that means death for the personality. But when you keep reconnecting with your body, with that stillness in your body, and you can simply let that stress, fear, anxiety, anger, sadness be, what happens is that the personality starts to die, and you're connected to your body again with the root of this fear. Because it doesn't matter if you're angry or sad, the root of all these negative emotions are always fear. So if you could simply reconnect to your heart, actually, you can just ask your heart, like, show me the fear you have, and then simply let it be. Like, don't try to meditate it away. That wouldn't be meditation, actually. That's just be with it and allow it to be, and surrender, like give up. You have to fully give up. And what can happen over time is that you'll start to feel safe again in your body. And when your body feels calm again, and you're not forced to think all the time, what can happen is that you can even disidentify with your body. And when you're not identified with the mind, and you're not identified with the body, the only thing that remains is you. And that's a different kind of stillness. That's not your stillness, your personal stillness. That's something very unpersonal. It's not the absence of noise. You already know that it's unexplainable to explain the thing itself, the feeling of it, because it's not really a feeling. But that's what you are, even right now. But it's covered up by the mind and all the noise and the pulsation of the heart and the fear and anxiety and even the stimuli of all the things that you have consumed. And it's all covered up. It doesn't mean that it's not there. It needs to be there for you to have an experience. But I like to explain, the way I would explain it is it's deep sleep, being present in an awakened state, or death. Now let's get back to the main reason why I'm recording this video. It's the explanation of why you are connected to everything. When you tap into that pure self, which is this stillness or this deep sleep, you start to feel that all things that seem to be around you, like objects and people, that stillness is also in those things and in those people. It doesn't matter how their personality is, or how they look, or how they behave. They can only behave it like that in the first place because they have that stillness as their foundation. And it's not don't get me wrong, it's not a foundation and on top of that there's a personality. No, everything is that. And when you connect to the pure self, you start to recognize that all things around you consist out of that stillness. Just think of a wall. Just assume that a wall is alive. Of course, it doesn't have any senses. It cannot feel or see, but it has a consciousness. And I'm not talking about the conscious awareness, the personal awareness. I'm talking about consciousness, which is different from conscious awareness. Totally different. It's just the recognition that it is alive. Even a rock is alive. just because. Why? Because it exists. And the awareness that is keeping that rock in existence is the same consciousness that is keeping this body and mind in existence. And if you can just, even if you connect with the body right now, what you will notice is that the body itself doesn't have any idea about duality, or the body doesn't know what dead or alive means. Being alive is a concept in the mind, so when you are reconnected to what you are, you don't feel alive anymore. That's why you don't feel mortal anymore. It's just aliveness that is not bound to an object like the body. So you start to exist in two different dimensions. You can still be a part of that personal interactive state of, human fear nature. But also there's this calm sense of being that cannot be described, but it's connected to absolutely everything. So now you might say, aha, or you might even disagree. That's also good. But just notice that this explanation doesn't help at all. When you have the explanation, you start to realize that searching for rational explanations truly do not help. So maybe something can surrender in your mind to the fact that it doesn't help to understand it rationally. Because you can understand, that you are connected, but if you don't feel it, then you don't feel it, and you want to feel it, you don't want to understand it. Alright, so I think that's it. So if you like this video, like it, subscribe, leave a comment, and have a great day.